Welcome back to my show. I'm the Beer Adventure.
And I'm Lunchbox.
And on this episode, we've got another one from Abita. This is the Andygator.
Andygator. Now, I picked this up and I had no idea really what it was. But I found out after I perused the bottle that it is in fact a Doppelbock. And I kind of like Doppelbock.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
This one's a little different. This is a Helles Doppelbock.
Right, which means it's going to be lighter.
The Helles, they tend to be a little lighter than a Bock and a little more hoppy, but they're brewed the same way. You picked it out. The same way. They're brewed to the Bock strength, but this is a Doppelbock, so this is a lighter, high alcohol, that stronger beer.
That perked my ears up.
8%. These things are monsters.
So that'll do you. Let me get into it.
So this is one of those more traditional German styles, which, I mean, when you're drinking beer, German is always a good idea. And another one. Okay.
I'm getting a nice little collection going.
That's not bad. So let's go ahead and get this in here. So, as you'll see, it doesn't look like a Bock. Right. That's the Helles. That German Helles is kind of like the pale, clear type thing. It does pour an okay head.
Now, I was introduced to Abita through Turbo Dog.
Oh, yeah.
And I tried some of their other beers, and like these guys know what they're doing.
Oh,
they've made some really nice beers. And in fact, I've been most pleased with damn near everything I've tried from them.
There's been one or two that
it's not my style beer,
were ones that I didn't like as much as other ones, but I mean,
so
the vast majority of Abita beers I really enjoy.
That kind of smells like a Bock.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something toasty in there?
Yeah, it's gonna have a more of a roasted malt characteristic.
Yeah, so you can kind of smell that toast. Oh my goodness. There's so much going on there, and you can really taste the alcohol.
Yeah, the 8%.
A lot of times these people get crafty and they hide it. They did not. But there's so much flavor for something that light colored. Like there's so much going on.
Helles box of the bomb, bro.
That is really neat.
Okay, now here's the thing. The Helles Doppelbock is going to have more hops. Now, don't think it's an IPA. This has more hops than a Bock.
You can taste the hops, but it's not like
hops.
It's not even like that Sierra Nevada, which is just hop forward.
Yeah.
This is like, it's just hoppy, but it's kind of like mixed in with all this other stuff going on. Like, it's so... I got my take another drink here in a second. But I have to plot this out because there's so much going on so quickly. It was an assault.
Well, first off, it's pretty alcoholic because it's an 8% alcohol. I know there's stuff that's way more alcoholic now, but this was the high gravity beer from back in the day.
Okay, so I can taste the malt now.
Mm-hmm. You get a
It's
lot of tingle.
It's almost kind of syrupy.
Yes.
It's almost, yeah.
It's almost creamy.
But that alcohol, I guess, is taking that syrup away.
Mm-hmm. These are, this was like the malt liquor from way back in the day in Germany.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes complete sense now.
This was the heavy hitter beer. Because, I mean, this is 8% alcohol. You got to think that a lot of those beers, when they were making those, they were between 3 and 5. These were 8 to 10.
Right, so they're double.
Yeah.
What you're drinking.
See, Doppelbock, double.
There you go.
So, because some of these styles and all, they would kind of freeze them and skim off the ice. And then you'd have...
Something stronger?
Yep.
Nice.
You got to think, man, they didn't have like a lot of the
Well, you can't make it
processes.
the other way. You can't boil it off because you boil the alcohol off first.
The alcohol.
Smart.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you,
We'll go the other direction.
When it comes
Freeze
to
it.
beer, Germans know what's up.
Wow, that is amazing. So, let's do this again.
You've got a seriously full flavor, but it still has some crispness. There's a significant malt backbone, and there is some hops, but it's not overpowering. I call this a pinball beer because the flavors in your mouth go back and forth and back and forth,
They really
back and forth, back and forth.
do.
Nothing's overwhelming, and nothing is angry. Nothing is,
I'm so glad I bought this thing.
yeah. I've actually had this on draft, and it's even better on draft.
Well, you know, a lot of things are.
Yeah, I think most things are.
You know what? Especially Abita beers.
Yeah, Abita.
I have noticed that. So if you're a big fan of these things, if you get to try an Abita beer on tap, do that because they're best on tap.
I think so.
The Turbo Dog was way better on tap than it was in the bottle.
There's another thing with this kind of beer. If you're sitting there drinking this and somebody that drinks like Bud Light or something wants a sip of it, warn them. This looks like their beer. It's not their beer.
No,
This is not a light beer. This is.
there is so much going on in that thing.
Honestly, there's so many things going on. There's a lot of people that are not beer fans that just can't get over something like this. They're just like, too much. I don't need it. I can't handle it.
I've never seen that much come out of something that light colored either. That's what's tripping me out.
Yeah.
Usually when something happens, they might have a light flavor or they might have something strong fruit or malt, but nothing that's like that complex.
You know, it does have a little bit of fruit sweetness. If I tell you this again, when you take a sip, you'll taste it.
Say apricot.
Yeah, it's stone fruit. There's a stone fruit flavor.
That was what I was getting, but I wasn't sure if I was tasting it.
No, it's the Helles double box have a kind of a stone fruit flavor in them. That's one of the hallmarks. Yeah, that was why he said, "Oh, it's a Bock," and I was like, "Actually, it's way more than a Bock, but it is a Bock."
I'm glad I bought it. I've never had anything like that.
This thing's great.
Like I said, I'm a big fan of the Doppelbock already.
No, Doppelbocks are fantastic to me.
I like the full robust flavors. I don't want a really hoppy beer, but this one has so much else going on. Like as soon as you taste the hops, there's malt kicking in, there's that fruity stuff kicking in, there's alcohol finishing everything off, and you're just like, wow, what the hell is that?
But the important thing is you set it down and you go, wow, where's that? I want more.
Yeah, because the alcohol makes sure that everything's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like really quick. They don't hide that, and it evaporates everything away. So
Okay, now
ready for another drink.
Before we get into that final rating, I have a suggestion for this beer. Say you're having a very spicy Cajun or Creole dish.
Ah,
Also, cured meats like sausages and stuff. Think about it, German. Robust mustards, nice big sausages. This stuff is good with it. It is like if you're having gumbo, some big
I could drink
bratwurst.
this with gumbo.
Yeah, it's
I could
awesome.
so drink this with gumbo.
I think that's why they make this because it's Abita Springs. It's not that far from, their gumbo territory.
Well, all right.
So there we go.
Did you
All
dig
right.
it?
Hell yeah, I dig this.
I really did too. Would you have another?
I've had them. I'll have them. Continue.
You know what? I'll probably have another one of these if it was offered to me. I'd take it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
It is.
This is an adventure.
Fantastic.
This is the definition of beer adventure.
Yeah.
It was an adventure.
Yeah. It's absolutely worthy of pick 6. Depending
I'd put 2
on
in there now.
what
If I
you're
knew that, I'd put 2 in there.
depending on what you're doing, this can be a 6-pack beer. Definitely. Let us know what you thought about it. Hit that like button if you enjoy a nice Helles Bock. Let's talk down there in the comments and subscribe. We do this all the time. Let's do more.
All right.
So what do you got? 1 to 10. 1 is the lowest. 10 is the highest.
Man, I'm really torn. I guess an 8.
This is an 8 for me all day, every day. I like this beer. There's only one small problem with this beer. You said you tasted the alcohol, but in your mind, it's not 8%, and it's still beer. And you're like, I'll just have another and another.
Right.
And I have been somewhere and had 6 or 7 of them and went, I gotta go pee. And I stood up and went, whoa, okay, I got a hold of you. So, be warned when you're dealing with a Helles Bock. It doesn't feel like an 8, but it may be an 8 or 9 and get you. Well, there you have it, folks. Till that next beer adventure.
Cheers.